Guys, guess what it's time for? It's time to start learning about dinosaurs. I was so excited. I put my dinosaur dress on for you. So let's get started by learning about some of the words that we need when we talk about dinosaurs. The first words we're going to be using are the science words for when the dinosaurs were on Earth. This is a geologic timeline. It starts at the bottom and when the Earth was formed and continues all the way up to the present day where you can see the people. And geologists have divided the Earth into different periods. You can see them in different colors on this chart. Our focus is going to be on the blue section, the Mesozoic era. That's the word for the time when dinosaurs as we know them were alive. And you can see the Mesozoic era is divided into three different sections. We've got Triassic, the longest time ago, Jurassic, and then Cretaceous. And different dinosaurs lived during different sections of those times. So when we learn about dinosaurs, you might see words like Cretaceous, which means it's a relatively modern dinosaur, or Triassic, meaning it's an older dinosaur. I also want you to notice the numbers that are going along the side that gauge how far back these things were. Now, these numbers are not the actual numbers of years. They're not even that many thousands of years. This is how many million years ago these things happened. So you can see the Triassic period started about 250 million years ago. Sometimes you'll see this abbreviated as MYA. That's what it stands for, million years ago. So dinosaurs were alive from about 250 million years ago to about 68 million years ago. That's a big period of time we're talking about. Lots of things happened, lots of really interesting dinosaurs. Now we're going to get even more into the words of dinosaurs. Have you ever looked at dinosaur names and seen how interesting they are? They are actually compound words made with bases that are Greek and Latin. Greek and Latin are the preferred languages of science. Lots of scientists use Greek and Latin bases to name the things. So let's start with the basic word dinosaur. Dinosaur is a compound word. It comes from two Greek roots which mean terrible lizard. Now, dinosaurs aren't lizards, but the first scientists who found them reminded them of lizards. So they named them dinosaurs, which means terrible lizard. We can use those same tricks, breaking it apart and looking for the Greek and Latin roots to discover what other dinosaur names mean. They may look like just a lot of letters, but they're actually a little bit of a code that tells us about what that dinosaur looked like. So let's break it apart. This guy is an Allosaurus. He lived during the late Jurassic period. Now, I've broken the word apart for you, and we can already see the word saurus for lizard. So we know that allo is going to describe what kind of lizard they thought this was. If you look at the Greek and Latin roots, it really means strange lizard. So the scientists who discovered this must have thought, wow, that's a strange looking creature. So they named it a name that means strange lizard. You might recognize this dinosaur. It's the Triceratops. The Triceratops lived in the Cretaceous period. So it's a more modern dinosaur than the Allosaurus was. So let's look at the root words that make up the word Triceratops. Now, I think you might be able to figure out what one of those words means. Look at the prefix tri. Think about other words that have in it like tricycle. Maybe that will help you recognize that the word tri stands for three. The word cero or cerat means horned, and ops is face. So the word Triceratops actually means three-horned face. That's a pretty good name for that dinosaur. You've probably heard of this one before, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now, let's break it apart into the smaller pieces. I hope you recognize that middle piece, saurus, as meaning lizard, because again, the early scientists thought maybe dinosaurs were a type of lizard. They're not. But let's look at the other pieces to find out what Tyrannosaurus rex means when you decode it. Now, tyranno means tyrant. What that means is actually like an evil ruler. So we have tyrant, lizard, and the word rex just means king. So Tyrannosaurus rex means tyrant, lizard, king. I think that means that the scientist who first named this thought he looked like bad news. I think he was right. So dinosaur names, even though they seem long and confusing, are actually a code. The code usually tells something about what that dinosaur was like, where it was found, or what the scientists who discovered it think they know about it. So we're going to be looking at different dinosaur names and seeing if we can figure out the secret code. It's not actually secret, it's just Greek and Latin. The secret code that tells what their name means and what it says about them.